disturbance to the horizon. It was the most exposed archaeological site she'd ever worked. Shetland was all sky and wind. There were no trees here to provide shelter. I love this place, she thought suddenly. I love it more than anywhere else in the world. I want to spend the rest of my life here. Mima had been pinning towels onto the washing line, surprisingly supple despite her age. She was so small that she had to stretch to reach the line. Hattie thought she looked like a child, prancing on tiptoes. The laundry basket was empty. "Come away in and have some breakfast," Mima said. "If you don't put on a bit of weight, you'll blow away." "Pots and kettles," Hattie said, as she followed Mima across the grass to the house. And she thought Mima, trotting ahead of her, did look so frail and insubstantial that she might be swept up in a storm and carried out to sea. She'd still be talking and laughing as she went, as the wind twisted her body like a kite tail until it disappeared. In the kitchen, a bowl of hyacinths was in bloom on the windowsill, and the smell of them filled the room. They were pale blue, streaked with white. "They're pretty." Hattie sat at the table, pushing the cat off the chair so she could sit down. "Spring-like." "I can't really see the point of them." Mima reached up to lift a pan from the shelf. "They're an ugly kind of flower and they stink. Evelyn gave them to me and expected me to be grateful, but I'll kill them soon. I've never kept a houseplant alive yet." Evelyn was Mima's daughter-in-law and the subject of much complaint. All the crockery and cutlery in Mima's house was slightly dirty, yet Hattie, usually so fastidious, so fickle in her appetite, always ate whatever Mima cooked for her. Today, Mima was scrambling eggs. "The hens are laying well again," she said. "You'll have to take some with you, back to the bod." The eggs were covered in muck and straw, but Mima cracked them straight into a bowl and began whisking them with a fork. Translucent white and deep yellow yolk splashed onto the oilskin tablecloth. Using the same fork, she scooped a lump of butter from a wrapped packet and shook it into the pan on the Rayburn. The butter sizzled and she tipped in the eggs. She threw a couple of slices of bread directly onto the hot plate, and there was a smell of burning. "Where's Sophie this morning?" Mima asked when they'd both started eating. Her mouth was full and her false teeth didn't quite fit, so it took Hattie a moment to understand what she was saying. Sophie was Hattie's assistant on the dig. Usually, Hattie did the planning and the preparation. It was her PhD, after all, her project. She was obsessive about getting things right, but this morning she'd been eager to get onto the site as soon as possible. It was good to get away from Sophie sometimes, and as much as anything, she was glad of a chance to chat to Mima on her own. Mima liked Sophie. The season before, the girls had been invited to a dance at the community hall, and Sophie had been the life and soul of the party, so the men had been queuing up to swing her around in the 8-some reel. She'd flirted with them all, even the married ones. Hattie had watched, disapproving and anxious, but jealous too. Mima had come up behind Hattie and yelled in her ear above the noise of the music, "That lass reminds me of myself at that age. I had the men flocking around me too. It's all just a bit of fun to her. It means nothing. You should lighten up a bit yourself." How I've missed Wolsey over the winter, Hattie thought. How I've missed Mima. "Sophie's working in the bod for a while," she said. "Paperwork, you know. She'll be along soon." "Well," Mima demanded, bird-like eyes bright over the rim of the mug, "did you find yourself a man while you were out? A good-looking academic, maybe? Someone to keep you warm in bed in those long winter nights?" "Don't tease, Mima." Hattie cut a corner from the toast, but left it uneaten. She no longer felt hungry. "Maybe you should find yourself an island man. Sandy's still not found himself a wife. You could do worse. He's got more life about him than his mother, at least." "Evelyn's all right," Hattie said.